They say nothing lasts forever. Even the greatest love, the deepest bond and the strongest will eventually break. But what if it's the other way round? What if it's the person who breaks first? Dora Maar was a young artist herself, but she was also Picasso's muse, the subject of many of his paintings and sculptures. She was the embodiment of his creativity, but she was also his tormentor, the one who drove him to make art, but also the one who suffered because of it. This is the story of Pablo Picasso and Dora Maar, a haunting tale of obsession and heartbreak set in the south of France in the 20th century. Picasso was at the height of his career. He was rich, famous, and had just invented a new style of painting called Cubism. He married Marie and had a son with her. He continued to paint and he continued to cheat. Marie, meanwhile, became pregnant again, but she miscarried soon after. She started having panic attacks, and she started seeing a shrink. She tried to commit suicide twice, but Picasso saved her. He didn't do it out of love or guilt, he did it out of selfishness. He needed Dora alive to keep his art alive. She blamed herself and she blamed Dora for stealing her baby. She died of a stroke at the age of 63. She was alone in her room when it happened. No one knows if she died happy or sad, sane or insane, loved or lonely. But we do know that she died a legend, the woman who inspired Picasso's most famous works. The woman who broke Picasso's heart. She didn't know that Dora was also pregnant, but she miscarried without knowing it. Picasso didn't care. He just kept painting and cheating. Their relationship was passionate, but destructive. Picasso was a jealous lover, and he wanted Dora to be his alone. He didn't want her to have any other interests or hobbies. She just kept painting and hoping that one day he would love her back. It was his final work, a requiem for his lost love, a farewell to his past. Was it love or madness? We don't know. But we do know that it was real. It was real enough to inspire some of the greatest art of the 20th century. Real enough to haunt the artist's every waking moment. Real enough to break his heart. He died 2 years later, leaving behind a legacy of genius and madness, of love and loss, of art and pain. But one day, something happened that changed everything. Picasso met another woman, a beautiful and mysterious artist named Marie-Thérèse Walter. He fell in love with her, and he wanted to marry her. Dora was devastated, but she didn't resist. She knew that she couldn't compete with Marie, so she just let Picasso go and retreated into herself. He wanted her to paint with him, but only as his assistant. She became a shadow of her former self, a broken spirit living in a broken body. She spent her days staring out the window of her room, watching the world go by, and her nights crying herself to sleep. She was haunted by memories of Picasso, by images of their past together, by voices of their laughter and love, and by the silence that followed. He didn't want her to have any friends or family. He wanted her to live with him in his house, only as his assistant. He didn't want her to have any freedom or independence. He wanted her to be his prisoner, and she was. For years, Dora Maar endured Picasso's abuse and she'll never complain or rebel. She stopped painting. She stopped painting. Picasso, meanwhile, moved on with his life. Years passed. Dora Maar's condition worsened. She became more on and more depressed. Finally, in 1950, Dora Maar died. After Dora's death, Picasso painted one last masterpiece, a portrait of Marie, his wife. So, what was the secret of their love? Was it passion or obsession? Was it art or abuse? If you liked this tragic tale, stay tuned for more stories like this.